Okay, hello everyone. I'm Abdullah Alsuhaibani, a graduate student at UT Austin. My mentor, Todd Sutton, he's the construction technology manager at Zachry Construction. Today I'm going to share with you the findings of this research, which was focused on the quality management workflow of TxDOT design build projects. I'll start with the discovery and definitions. So from the left, those are the documents that are being exchanged in the quality workflow, and then the stakeholders involved in the quality workflow and the system of records used. Today, I'm going to focus on those quality documents and my presentation. Those are the stakeholders and the personas that are involved in the quality workflow of design build projects. And for this research, I interviewed an expert from TxDOT and then the design builder quality control manager and the independent quality firm manager. So why I chose to focus on design build projects? Because they are like the cost of design build projects are much higher than regular bid build projects. Also, the quality acceptance of design build projects involves more than one stakeholders, which increases the complexity. So TxDOT depends on the owner verification firm and the independent quality firm in order to accept quality, do the quality acceptance. I will explain the workflow or the macro of tier 1 documents now. So the main responsibility of the quality control for the design builder quality control is to assure the job is done like as per quality requirement. And the design builder hires the independent quality firm, which is doing most of the inspection and testing for acceptance. But also TxDOT uses the owner verification firm, which is doing like 10% of what the independent quality firm is doing. The independent quality firm outsource all the testing that is done by lab, required lab, and this lab has an integration with TxDOT I2MS, which is the inspection and material management system. But as we can see, there are so many analog exchanges. So the lab and TxDOT might be the only digital exchange here. The first main point here is the design builder does not use a quality management system. So the quality inspector, if the quality inspector needs to report anything, this will have to go through analog exchange. Another main point, the IQF inspector will have to submit 2 different documents, which is the featured inspection report to the quality control. And they will have also to submit the daily activity report to their company. The daily activity report basically consists of a summary of the featured inspection report. So this can be automated. Another main point here, the project team at TxDOT will have to submit each quarter the comparison between the independent quality firm result and the owner verification firm result to central unit at TxDOT, and they will also submit that to the Federal Highway Administration. They do this manually through downloading the report from I2MS and uploading it to SharePoint, as you can see here. Another one last main point here is there is no centric management system that allow the different stakeholders involved in the process to collaborate in their work. Now I'll go to the shared pains to shared gains. First, this is my CDX challenge statement. So how might we improve the exchange and access to quality data between TxDOT design build project delivery teams in ways that reduce risk and waste through increased transparency? so that together we can focus on predicting quality problems before they happen. I would like to focus a little bit here on the exchange between the lab and the independent quality firm. The lab will have to submit the test results to the independent quality firm through emails, which is like analog way of exchange, and then they will get their approval. After that, they will submit, the laboratory will go and submit that to TxDOT. So this can be eliminated through having like a digital way of exchange. So it can directly after submitting it to the independent quality firm, it should directly go to the to TxDOT. Also, another thing here I wanted to mention, the independent quality firm rely only on the lab for keeping the record of the testing. Now I would like to explain the non-conformance report. Basically, the non-conformance report can be initiated by any of the stakeholders. But for this example, I mentioned the quality control inspector as the one who initiates the NCR. So the NCR will go to the quality control manager after being submitted by the inspector. Again, because the design builder does not use a quality management system, this will go through either paper or email. So the manager will look at the NCR and will see whether it's required to be submitted or it's not an actual NCR. If the manager approves that the NCR is actually an NCR, they will manually fill the NCR form, which is required by the project team, to the project-specific document management system. So it will go to the segment manager. Segment manager will review and then submit the document, the NCR, to the design quality manager. From there, it will go to the design team who will propose the new design. And then it will go back again to the design quality manager for review. And only then it will be submitted to TxDOT through email. There is one thing here, if there is no design change required, it will go directly to TxDOT from the segment manager. So the main points I wanted to highlight here are the, again, analog exchanges, and the TxDOT, which is the owner, is not notified about the NCR until very late stage of the process. So before I go to my prototype proposal, I wanted to mention like what I consider to come up with this proposal. So I wanted to increase collaboration and transparency through using centric management system for the project that is used for the quality, any quality, like the quality jobs in the project, and also minimize re-entry and waste through using proper integrations between the platforms and digital exchanges. The last thing, minimizing unnecessary workflows through providing proper authorizations for the personas involved. So this is my prototype proposal. The project should have a project quality management system that allows collaboration between all the stakeholders. And this should be owned by TxDOT, because TxDOT is the stakeholder who will have the most frequent design build projects among all these stakeholders. Of course, there are much more than these personas that can be connected to these gears, but I mentioned those just for example. So again, if the inspector wants to initiate the NCR, of course, they don't have, inspectors maybe do not have the authority to go to submit the NCR, but through providing, limiting the inspector authorization by submitting the NCR, and then it only goes to the project quality management system after review and approval from the manager. However, this should not be analog, should be just all and using the design builder quality management system. But let's say if the document does not require higher level approval, like the owner verification testing, for example. The inspector is able to submit this, and it will to their database, and then from there it can go to the project quality management system. It will also be connected with the I2MS, and then from there automatically to SharePoint, because there is no approval required here. So this will minimize re-entry, and it will make the process much more efficient. The same thing with the independent quality firm and their feature inspection report. If it is submitted to the project quality management system, all the other stakeholders can have a look at this report, and it might be good use for them. One last thing I wanted to mention here, other systems like here, let's say the design builder will have document management system, and like the enterprise resource planning system, they will have to have also internally have a proper integration between them. So we have only single source of truth for documents. I mentioned here like the shared gains. We would eliminate data re-entry. We will have single source of truth for the document. Also, this will increase transparency and collaboration through having centric management system. The barriers and challenges I see to achieve this. First, the nature of the industry. Most of construction projects are one-off projects, so there is so much variabilities in the delivery methods, stakeholders, and regulation. Quality requirements will change with the change of project. Through the interviews I had, I noticed that there is lack of motivation for using like quality data for future predictive analysis. So this might be a reason that like they don't keep good record of the quality data. And scalability and efficiency. We want to make things applicable for many things. Like we like using, text boxes are widely used. Descriptive way of reporting is widely used, but this will reduce our ability to search, filter, sort. So this will increase our analyzing time. There is no software system solution for all workflows. So this is a fact that solutions are available for HR, department, finance, project control, quality management. They have to be properly integrated. So the all workflows can be as efficient as possible. And the last thing here, there is lack of contractual requirement for data exchange. That's all what I had for you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Todd. I really appreciate your support.
Great job, Abdullah. Thank you so much. Came in perfect timing.
Kind of work. And but I really thought, Abdullah really kind of zoned in on the fact that the owner owns that quality process, and that for being the stakeholder that stands to benefit the most, it ought to be kind of focused around them. Obviously really dug into the process and understood that well. Again, a bit of an idealized solution of a central system for everybody to kind of pour into, but those are the two that I kind of thought had the most novel solutions for their work.
Awesome.
I have to agree that Abdullah did a great job, because his presentation was really good, and I really did like the fact that he did focus on the data. He was spot on his proposal and the barriers, and he's calling out eliminating data reentry, which is just, as we all know, such a giant waste of time.
Yeah.
And so to be able to get that data entry and have the data and have that available, I thought was really key.
Well, I think he stood out in clarity of presentation. So it's like that was one of the elements that was really easy to follow, for me at least. So I thought that was unique. I was obviously very sympathetic with his solution. I was like, yeah, I think this is, to Joe's point, it's a bit idealized, but I do think that's probably like one of the best ways to go about it, and does put sort of the owner at the center. And then my final comment on Abdullah, I think, is like his understanding holistically of the issue. I really appreciated his slide where he talked about the barriers and the challenges, some stuff about the nature of the industry. I took some notes on, lack of motivation for use of data, and he had some things to say about predictive analytics, which I thought were interesting. We also brought in like the contractual incentives and what that means. So these are all areas where if you prodded further, you might, round out a solution that has had a variety, or, round out a recommendation that had a variety of levers you could pull to reach that goal. But I think a solid set of presentations. But if I was forced to vote, which I guess I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say your vote does count. I'm writing your vote down right here. You voted Abdullah. Next.
Like that one, I think Abdullah's seemed to be the I guess best researched and I guess most data driven approach to a solution. I mean, maybe the more feasible, even if idealistic. Not to discredit Trina or Jenna and all what they did, but training programs and things like that can be very challenging to actually implement. And I think Abdullah came with the right approach.
At the end of his, I was like, okay, wait, who at TxDOT do we need to talk to like do this, right?
Exactly.
like this is
Exactly.
simple.
Let's get this
Todd,
done.
I'm looking at you, Todd and Fernanda. We got to make this into reality, and this will really make it into a story, right? Because I mean, a viable innovation was really the number one driver of this. And if that's
absolutely
kind of obviously, Tom, I want to hear your thoughts before we continue, but go ahead, Tom.
No, I'm right in line with what everyone's already said. I think Abdullah is with the clear outlining of the stakeholders and each of their incentives, and then wrapping it up with the barriers in a way that was, you could take next steps there for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it was very, very well articulated. And to put the owner, I mean, I don't think we've seen enough of that where the onus is on the owner to really take charge of their projects. So I think I wholeheartedly agree
Well
there.
said.